Stop. With your feet on the air, your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it. Yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it. And you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the waters, you're swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock, except a little fish. But they told me swear it's trying to cause trouble in the wind. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind?
Yo.
You still got it rolling?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody?
You don't want to roll it all the way through? Oh, man.
Man, we got people. We got talked about people. We got to talk about things.
Fair enough. So what's today's topic?
Vet your bros. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Brothers. This is the show where your brothers, your big brothers, talk to you guys about real life shit. And we're going to be dropping some gems on you. Tonight, our topic is vet your bros. What does that mean?
Fair enough. Oh, there we go. All right, go ahead.
Right. Thank you, Huds, for that. Is the old father coming in?
I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of the pink. I just realized we got little pink names.
You know, it's cute. It rolls with your personality and your whole hello beautiful thing in the background. So just roll with it. Anywho, so you know, we talk about a lot about vetting women, and we do that on the Dragon Ship. We do that, you know, on our podcast here on your big brothers. But you know, one thing we don't really talk about is vetting the men in your life, vetting your friends, vetting your mentors, vetting your bros. And I think it's really important this is a conversation for us men to get into because we really need to vet our circle better. You know, we always talk about being aware of women. Hey, vet that woman, vet her right. Make sure she's a good woman for you to be with. We always talk about that. But we don't talk about enough the men in your circle. And today, that's what we're going to get into today. So, Huds, why'd you pick that video?
Absolutely. I wanted to roll through it all the way, but for those who have seen Fight Club, they understand that this is a man that is lost in the very beginning. And then as time goes on, you know, he finds a support group just to feel something. And that support group he's there is false. You know, he's there for testicular cancer. He doesn't have testicular cancer, but he's there because he needs to feel the emotion. And then through that, he actually meets a woman that he becomes romantically attracted in. And then as time goes on, you know, with what goes on in his head, he creates Tyler Durden, the badass that creates Fight Club. And when you look at that series of events, and when you look at that series in the video, essentially he goes from being lost to having a love interest and then finding somebody who takes him down a dark path that at the end of it all, he ends up blowing up all the major credit card companies in the city. And it's a very interesting metaphor to what we're talking about. Because if you are picking the people that you want to have around you, I know we always talk about like you are the accumulation of the 5 closest people that you have. But if you pick those people incorrectly, they can lead you to destruction. And that's exactly what that symbolizes.
Yeah, let me share a little story, a little personal story, where Glenn Lawrence didn't vet correctly. A guy, a business partner, a friend. You know, about a year ago, I get asked to be on this movie set, and this director seemed cool. We were talking business, we're talking shop. He liked my acting skills, you know, and it's always when you're still trying to get wet in the game, it's always good to have like somebody that's a little bit more experienced, somebody that's been in the game a little longer than you, point you out for your talents. Like, for example, I was on the film Marriage Made in Heaven, which Thor just went with me to the premiere a couple weekends ago, and out of the almost 5 years of acting professionally, the biggest compliment I got is when Tom Arnold looked at my work and he said, "Man, you got it." Tom Arnold's in Roseanne. Tom Arnold's in True Lies. Tom Arnold's been around for a very long fucking time. This guy is a legend in his own right. He's a great actor in his own right. And he told me that, like, dude, you have what it takes. That right there, mind blown. And Tom Arnold's a kind of straightforward guy. He'll tell you what's up. So when I met with this director and we're talking shop, he said he wanted to direct my movie and produce my movie. Right out the gate, I was floored. And he's like, "Look, I need you to secure X $1,000 for escrow. And then when you give me that money that goes in the escrow account, then because he sent me a contract, the contract was legit, a distributing contract. He's like, and then we'll get to going. We'll get filming in Florida." Dude, I was set. I was like, so happy. Long story short, I get to the airport ready to fly out. Come to find out I got scammed. I did not vet correctly. Now on paper, everything looked good, but when I did some research on the distribution company, it dissolved into nothing a month prior to me signing the contract. So it was a contract for a company that doesn't exist anymore, but it looked legitimate. I didn't do my due diligence and I didn't check the company. I didn't verify. I got excited. I was in my feelings. All right, this is my project, my blood, sweat, and tears, something I've been working on for years. And finally, somebody wants to, produce it. And I got robbed. I got jacked out of thousands of dollars. And it hurt. Me and Coco were at the airport waiting for a flight that was never going to go out. And we had an Uber back. It was embarrassing. But I didn't vet right. Because if I would have vetted right, and I did after we never got on the flight, I started looking into him from there. Then I come to find out that this guy is a scam artist. This guy scammed another filmmaking company in Texas for $300,000. He screwed over a church in Nevada for a couple $1,000s for a faith-based film. This guy's going around and he's doing this, and all it took was me vetting him. If I would have done my due diligence and vetted him from the beginning, instead of getting in my emotions, thinking that somebody is excited about my film, which, there's people excited about my film. But if I would have just done my due diligence, I would have saved myself thousands of dollars and the embarrassment, and I wouldn't have to start from scratch. And you know what? If it was a female that came up to me, you know, I would have vetted her through. I would have put her through the ringer, right? Because that's what we're taught to do.
But there's perceived value that you had with him. And you
Yes.
perceived that he had higher value, and because of that, you trusted him more.
Yep. And also because I thought he was a guy. See, men, we're taught to be men of our words, right? We're taught to be accountable for what we say, do what we say. But what I've learned in all this, and this is a year ago, and this is something I shared with you, and I've shared with other people in our circle. I say trust but verify. You know, verify everything. I don't care if you tell me, hey, guess what? Huds tells me, hey, it's a nice day outside, it's sunny. I'm gonna go look out the window. I'm gonna verify that because I don't want to go outside and get cold. You know, you have to verify, and you have to vet and verify. And until
it's interesting. I want to say this right now. It's interesting that you even bring up this topic and you wanted this topic because earlier today I actually just got off a phone call with a company because this guy is claiming he's a part of the company for marketing, and they have no record of him. Everything about the contract seems sketch. There's so many red flags, and this guy's getting frustrated with me that I won't sign with them. But it's like, bro, I need to make sure first that I'm actually doing my due diligence. Because if you don't, this exact same type of thing happens and you get scammed.
Yeah, and see, we could do that with our friends too. And I use a personal situation that I've been through, but we could do that with our friends too. You know, we could bring some people into our circle and our sphere based off of just, oh, we met them, they seem cool. But in the process, we don't necessarily see the red flags in their behavior. You know, they always say something, you know, nice and cool. And, you know, it seems like they're about their business. But then anytime you challenge them, like, hey, man, didn't you say you had a Ferrari? Oh, yeah, but it's in the shop right now. It's in the shop right now. Oh, okay.
Always in the shop.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, didn't you say you want to fly out to Cabo and go to Cabo with us? Oh, man, I totally would. But, you know, shit, I got to work. Oh, I get that. But you're the one that suggested it. Yeah, I know, man. You guys go have a good trip. They never seem to produce anything that they say they're going to do. They never follow through. And that's a big red flag that if you have one of those people in your circle, you have to realize you can't put a whole lot of trust in that person. Because when you invest in them, most likely they're not going to invest in you. All right. And Huds, do you want to talk about something like that? You have something like that to share, right?
I do have one thing to share like that. I mean, I've already, you know, I can talk about this one example afterwards, a business partner from about a year ago. But one of the ones that popped into my head when you said that. So from situations that went on, I was not supposed to get in trouble with the law. And I was going out one night with a friend that I'm actually still dealing with crap about. And I'm working through this with this guy, and we go out one night, and I am dancing with the girl that I guess he really liked, even though she stopped seeing him because he was unable to get an erection anymore. And he gets jealous seeing me dancing with her, and he puts me into a headlock. Now, I've only been in a true headlock twice in my life. And you get to the point right before passing out where, yeah, the color in your face starts to change and you go into panic mode. And it's either you break the lock or you pass out. So in this moment, I broke the lock. I flipped around. And with the only thing that I had, which was a beer bottle in my hand, I threw it directly at his head. It bounced off his head and then shattered a window. It was absolutely ridiculous that it even happened that way, but regardless. And then he had this huge cut in his head. He had to go to the ER. And at the end of it all, like I had to pay, and the police called me the next day. And like, we got the security footage. You need to pay for the window. And it ended up costing me $650 just for being friends with this dude. Because nobody in their right mind would put somebody in such a dangerous situation. Like, I know I pal around with my boys. I know you pal around the same way, Glenn, but we don't put each other in situations where in the middle of a public setting, you're going to choke somebody out.
No, I mean, if I did choke you out publicly, I mean, I plan on it. If you broke a window, I mean, I'll pay for half. I mean, that would be the only right thing to do is like, hey, I initiated it. I started this. That's what was the action afterwards. Okay, cool. Let me split this cost with you.
Exactly.
That's something, you're supposed to do. But see, when it comes to these situations, like guys don't get to, if you really want to find out when a guy's emotional, like when he's with his friends, because that's when a guy's like in his emotional mind, he's not going to vet his friends very well. Some guys don't do that. Some guys are like, oh, I just like these guys hanging out with me. They're fun guys. They're a fun group of guys. What does that mean? You're talking all emotion. They're fun. They're exciting. We have a good time. That's all an emotion. You're not vetting them as you would if you were vetting a woman, or if you would if you're vetting a business partner. And it's sometimes because of that, that's when guys are in their emotions, because of their friendship makes them feel a certain way. What these guys do make them feel a certain way, and they enjoy it. And when you're in that mindset, you are not in the mindset to vet properly as you would in anybody else. Yeah, vet your bros. Even Captain Blood said, vet your bros, even the thirsty ones. True. Because it's funny, because thirsty bros, and I'm glad that you bring that up. Thirsty bros will put you in a really bad situation. They'll put themselves in a situation and expect you to back them up. Hey man, you got my back, right? You saw what really happened, right? She was flirting with me too. And you're like, I don't know about that. I saw you pursuing her. Don't know if she was flirting back with you, but you were definitely pursuing her. You definitely have to vet your friends properly.
It's a really good point, like everything that you're saying with that, because it's a lot of times we seek a sense of belonging. And if we have these friends that we can have fun with, then we overwrite or we overlook, let's say, we overlook the potential flaws that they have. I know one thing that we've spoken about, being a dating coach, dude, I am so freaking good at vetting women, but I am not good at vetting men. It's a skill that I never even thought I needed to train myself on, but I've seen it time and time again, is that I pick the wrong crowd to hang out with.
Yeah. Me and you, that was a personal conversation we had, but that's funny. Yeah, I brought that to your attention, and I was just like, "Yo, man, this is an area you might need to work on." And I thought that's really what brought this conversation up, is that you struggle with it, I struggle with it. There's not a guy in the world that probably doesn't struggle with it. At some point in his life, he has done that. And I keep business, even when it was with friends. I mean, here's an example. My buddy wanted to rent my motorcycle for a music video. And then, so I dropped it off with him on Monday. And then I ended up becoming the assistant director for his music video. Now he's an up and coming pop star. He sings about chick stuff, You'll love him. He's a great guy. He's a funny guy. Love him to death. But he's like all into the fielding songs, and that's cool. And as assistant director, I'm like, look, man, I come at a certain rate. Like, I'm your friend. I'm going to help you. But this is business, and I come at a certain rate. And I make sure I do this because your friend should never shortchange you. Your friend should never ask you for the homie hookup, because your friends should know how much work you put in to your craft, and they should not want you to be shortchanged. Like, yo, man, can I just get this for her? I said, look, you can do half now and then half when we wrap the shoot. That means before I leave the set, you're paying me the remaining balance. And he did. And he's a good friend. Now, was it like pulling teeth a little bit? It was a little bit, but he followed through because he knew the value of me being there. He knew the value of what his production is going to look like when it's stamped with Glenn Lawrence on it. He knows that Glenn Lawrence is going to get in those finer details and make that product look better. Whether I'm on camera or off the camera, I run shit. So he knew that the value of it, and it came at a cost. And You have to look at that even with your friends. Like your friends will put you in situations where you may not be comfortable with, and you still got to be firm. I'm firm with my rates. So if I'm firm with my rates to a stranger, I'm going to be firm with my rates to a friend. And you cannot swagger. You can't sway, because then what you're doing is the same thing that we tell you not to do with women, right? We tell you not to let women accept bad behavior from women. Well, when your friends are trying to shortchange you and trying to pay you less, or trying to get you to do something that you're uncomfortable with doing, that's about breaking your boundaries, right? Then and you like, oh, it's okay, we'll do it. Then you are condoning bad behavior from your friend. So you have to vet your bros. You
When
have
you
to
think
vet
about
your circle.
relationships doesn't just mean man to woman. Relationships are everything. Your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your coworkers, the relationship with your family. Understand that these principles still apply across the board.
I see you, baby girl. What's up?
Hey, Coco. Are you excited for our Halloween show?
Halloween. Yeah,
That
you
one's
guys,
pretty fun,
we're
man.
gonna have a great show for you guys next week. We're gonna have some females on here, and Coco's gonna be on the show.
Oh, we might as well announce that. So
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
of the things we're going to be doing is that on Tuesdays, we'll figure out some of the Tuesday dates, whether it's going to be Tuesday or another day. But I think we're probably going to solidify Tuesday instead of Wednesdays. We're going to do a show like this, talking about self improvement, and then there's going to be another show, and that's going to be a show with women, so that we can actually have these discussions. So it's not just a echo chamber of just us talking about it. So I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the first one is going to be Halloween.
Halloween, and you guys are gonna see. You guys notice like Pillow Talk with Coco's always in the chat, so you're actually gonna see her live. And then your sister's gonna come on board too, right?
Correct. My sister is going to come on.
Yeah,
It's going to be
so this is
absolutely
gonna be a
fantastic.
great show. We're gonna call it Thirsty Thursdays, just to fucking play with words. So it's your bros, your big brothers presents Thirsty Thursdays, and Coco's probably gonna be a regular on that show. And it's gonna be a great time. So, but let's get back on track. Why is it important to vet your friends? Well, in the circle that you're in, if you're the smartest person in your circle, then you're in the wrong fucking circle. Okay. Um, if you are the strongest person in your circle at the gym, then you're in the wrong fucking circle. I love going to I go to the Venice Beach gym. The Captain Blood, Thirsty Thursday, let's go. Shout out to you, Captain Blood. When I go to the Venice Beach gym, it's called the Mecca, right? The Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. It's called the Mecca, and that's like where Arnold trained, and yeah, he still trains there. That's where Sylvester Stallone goes. So shout out to Sabo. If you ever want to go train with Sylvester Stallone or train like Sylvester Stallone, you got to hit me up, and we'll go down to the Mecca, and we'll train together.
Dude, Venice Beach is so overrated, but whatever.
Shut up. So is Atlantic City.
Yeah, Atlantic City is completely overrated. I will totally agree with that.
I mean, Venice Beach is dirty, but the gym is fucking fantastic. But
Yeah,
like, I go to
cool.
that gym. Why? Like, Coco will tell you, there's a dude at the gym that's so fucking stacked. He makes me look like a shrimp. And I'm like, yo, bro. Every time I go in and I see him, I ask him a question. I'm like, yo, man, hey, how do you hit your lats? Like, how do you do this? Like, what is this exercise? Because I don't want to be the biggest fish in the pond in my pond. I want to go to another pond where there's bigger fish so I could talk to other people. It's not my man crush. I don't have a man crush.
It is a man crush.
No.
I think this sounds like a man crush.
I appreciate.
Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it makes sense that we have everything in pink still.
You know, we have everything in pink because your little pink colors in the background, sweetheart. Anyways.
Hello, beautiful.
But like, I go there to train with bigger, stronger guys because I want to push myself to always want to be bigger and stronger. I want to get on their level, you know, and you have to do that. So if you're the smartest person out of your friends, then you need to find another group of friends that, you know, it's a little more intelligent than you. Maybe they have a different view than you do that will challenge you intellectually. If you're the richest person among your friends, then you're in the wrong group of friends, because that means somebody else is making more money somewhere else, and you should be in that group, understanding how they're doing it, how they can hustle, how they make their money, how they have diversified their finances. But you have to vet them. There's a lot of people that are going to say a lot of good things. Look, Rollo Tomasi coined the phrase, medium is the message. Don't watch what people do, or don't listen to what people say, watch what they do, right? And it's the same thing with your friends, the same thing with the people in your circle. If the people in your circle say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and they don't do X, Y, and Z when they say they're going to do it, you have every right to challenge them. And, you know, I understand how that may be uncomfortable, but you're doing them a favor. If you really care about your friends, you're going to challenge them. You're going to call them out on their bullshit. You're going to want them to level up. You know,
are you really, and that's the whole thing, are you really trying to sell people on dreams and false promises? Or are you trying to sell them on who you actually are?
And I guess here's a challenge you could ask yourself. Here's a
Okay.
Oh, what did she say?
Maybe females are different, but I want to be the hottest girl in my friends group. But see, that's the thing. So I know a lot about this. When women are the hottest girl in the friends group, they tend to boss the other ones around. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you're not like that. But that tends to be how it.
That's like the Mean Girls thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Really wait a minute, my name's Glenn. She's Coco. You go, Glenn Coco.
You go ahead. Dude, that's funny.
Mean Girls reference. But you got to ask yourself this question: like, are you a good friend? Before you can vet your friends, you have to vet yourself. Are you a good friend? And you do that by,
a great question.
Like, do you challenge your friends? Do you call your friends out when they're slacking, or do you just turn the other way? When your friends are stepping out of line, like, do you say something to them, call them out, correct them? And maybe not call them out publicly, but do you pull them aside and be like, "Yo, man, you stepped out of line right there"?
And then when you, Glenn, what I want to like tee off of that, I want to like say this while we're like on that deep topic. So if you call your friends out, even if you don't do it publicly, and I don't think you ever should, but if you call your friends out, how do they react? And how would you want them to react? Like if you are out of line, how do you want your friends to react to you? If they get to the emotional point and they push you away, then you know you're with the wrong crowd. If they respond in a way that you would not want, then you know you're with the wrong crowd. It's very important to do those types of things to understand, okay, like where the hell are we? Do we view each other in the same light?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you know, like I always tell my friends, like, look, if I ain't talking shit to you, I don't give a fuck about you. I really don't. If I ain't challenging you, I really don't give a fuck about you. And HUD's, you know, I did this with HUD's. You know, HUD's had some things going on, and I fucking call them out. I challenge them. I still call them out.
You're a fucking asshole.
and it's not because I want to be an asshole or am I jealous of him. No, it's that I just want the best for him. And I want him to see something that I may see as a flaw that he might not be noticing. And if he sees it as a flaw or something that's going to be detrimental to him, I want him to be aware of it. I'm not going to turn away and not let him and not speak on it and let him fall on his face. Some friends do. Like Hudson needs to get his ass in the gym. I tell him that all the fucking time. Yo, bro, you got to get in the gym if you want to lift them whales. So, you know, you got to get in the gym. Go work out.
I told you, man. I just lay on my back and they ride me.
Yeah, that's how you end up getting suffocating and dying. You know, I'm going to save you. But like, no, seriously, like I challenged him about things I'm not going to speak on, but like I brought things up to him, you know, before. I'm like, yo, man, this is what's going on. You're taking it the wrong way. You're looking at it this way when it's this way. And at first he pushed back. No. Then he's like, you know what? I see what you're talking about. Damn, I didn't realize that. If you can't have that conversation with your friend, and if you're not willing to because you're afraid that your friend may feel a certain way, then you, sir, are not a good friend and you're in your feelings. A real friend brings the truth and that's it. And guess what the truth is? The truth does nothing. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just what it is. Yeah. So regardless of how your friend's going to take it, you got to call them out on it, because you're calling them out because you care. So if your
And if
friends
they
don't call
can't
you
see
out,
that, and if they can't see that, that's the whole thing, Glenn. And that's, I just got to double down on this all, because I had a really emotional past couple of weeks dealing with some of this stuff, and everything that Glenn helped with and helped me realize. If your friends are not calling you out that way, and if you're not calling them out that way, and everybody is taking it in an emotional way and pushes off, then they're not really your friends, because they should be able to understand that you're saying it because you care. And if they can't take that, they're not really your friend. They're more too ego invested.
and in this space, like we're in the men's health space, right? We're in the men's health, whatever you want to call it. We're in the manosphere. We're, red pill space, whatever the case is. This is where men are supposed to be men and stop acting like females. So if you're afraid to tell your friend what it is because you're afraid that they're going to get their feelings hurt, then you're acting like a female. You're acting like the opposite gender that you are complaining about 97% of the time in your rants, right? So squash your female behavior, act like a man, and challenge your friends. Iron sharpens iron. Okay? Gold is refined through fire. So if you're not sharpening your friends up and challenging them, if you're not putting them through the fire sometimes out of love, then are you being a good friend? Are you vetting your bros correctly if they don't do that to you too? And if you jump ship and you take offense to when your bros do that to you, ask yourself, why are you getting this? Is what here's a segue. When people tell me things and I'm upset about it, I ask myself this. I have to stop and ask myself this. What am I upset about? Am I upset that they're lying to me? They're saying something not truthful, then I'm upset that I'm hearing untruthful things? Or am I upset that they're telling me something that's true that I don't want to hear?
Yes, sir.
And here's the beautiful thing about that. Because if it's something truthful that I don't want to hear, that means I'm in my feelings. But that, guess what? That also gives me the power, because that's something I could change. I don't have to like that truth, but guess what? I could change it. I'd be like, oh, cool. I could level up here in this area. Damn, I dropped the ball here. Cool. I got you. I won't do that no more. I'm going to work on that. That's a good thing. But if somebody's lying to me, yeah, I'm going to be mad at them. Like, yo, you're fucking bullshitting me. You're lying to me. I don't like it. Yeah. But you have to ask yourself, when people are telling you things and you're getting emotional and you don't like what you're hearing, ask yourself, are you getting emotional because it's something true that you didn't want to address or you don't want to hear, or is it a lie?
That's such a good point. That is so true, because most of the time when somebody says something to you that it comes back to the ego. So when somebody is saying something to you that you don't like, you got to ask yourself that question. Do you not like it because it's true? Typically, that's when you get the most emotional. So if you don't like it because it's true, you got to look at yourself. But if you don't like it because they're just kind of saying shit about you and it's not true, then you need to figure out, okay, is this somebody I actually even want to have around?
Yeah.
There is a difference too. I want to point this out.
There's a
Coco,
huge...
we were talking about this the other day. There's a difference between constructive criticism and criticism. And and that's what we're talking about. You got to determine, is it constructive criticism because they care about you, or is it criticism because they don't like you?
And sometimes, I've told Coco's this before, sometimes people give their opinion to something. Like, well, my opinion is this. Well, guess what? Unless your opinion is asked for, it's criticism. So let's say, like, I came out with a project. Let's say I wrote a script. And I said, here's my script. And I go, hey, Huds, tell me what you think. Guess what? I open the door and I'm asking for constructive criticism. I'm asking for his opinion on it. Right? And now if Huds was a shitty friend and he just said, oh yeah, it's fucking awesome. I love it, bro. Let's just make this. This is going to be fucking perfect. and then I do it and then I fail, and he could have saved me by being honest with me, that's his bad, right? Because he didn't be a good enough friend and give me that constructive criticism. Now, if I said, yo, this is the script I'm working on, or this is the script that I'm shooting right now, we're in the process of shooting this. And he goes, oh, yeah, this is shit. Well, nobody asked you, fucker. It's, that's criticism. Do you see the difference? One is an ask to confirm. The other is just telling you your opinion. And
don't let your friends fail. Don't let your friends fail.
No, you don't let your friends fail. But we have to be careful when we're talking about constructive criticism, because sometimes people will think it's constructive, but unless that door is opened up, it's not constructive. Constructive criticism is when somebody opens the door for criticism.
That's a very, very good point.
But yeah, you gotta vet your friends. And you know what? You want to have the type of friends that you're so close with, and that the trust is so there that you could do this. Here we go. Here's another little clip for you.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're going to hurt some people. Whose car are we going to take?
I love that. If you guys didn't catch it, because, I even did just watch this movie recently, but because of how they do accents, whose car are we going to take?
He said, yo, I need your help. We're going to go hurt some people, and we're never going to talk about it again. And the good friend is like, well, whose car we're going to take? Because that's how well you vetted them. You vetted each other. The bond is there. Like, you know each other. And you don't want a friend that's not going to be in your foxhole with you when you're taking shots. And that's a military reference. A foxhole is, I always say that there's certain things, a criteria for somebody that must have for me to be in the foxhole with them. Me willing to take shots with them from enemies, and you have to vet your friends that way too. You have to ask yourself, do you want to be in whatever situation that you're in with them? Like, if this situation was bad, do you really want to be in that bad situation with them? Can you trust them, to be in that situation and to do right? And if you say you can't, then you have to ask yourself, then why are they your friend? What benefit do they bring to you?
So let's just define that there. So a foxhole essentially is, a bunker. You can imagine that as like a bunker in WW2, WW1, whatever. Dude, I'm not good at history. But it's essentially like a bunker. It's your shelter in the middle of war. And if that person in the middle of war gets up and leaves, fuck you.
Yeah. Just like a friend that, let's say you guys were in the middle of doing something, and you guys are been off on this endeavor together, and they got overwhelmed. They're like, fuck it, I'm out. Well, fuck them too, because now you're stuck carrying this endeavor. Or a business partner that says, oh yeah, you know what, I want to do this business with you. And then when it gets down to the nitty gritty, they don't want to do it, and you're stuck holding the bag.
Yeah.
That's why you got to vet your friends better, vet your circle better, vet your bros.
It's important to be around men that act like men.
Yeah.
I think that's really the core of it. Vetting your brothers, be around men that act like men.
Be around men that are going to make you better. They're going to help you to become a better man. It's always good to have fun. But you could have fun with them, and they could also make you better. They could inspire you to reach in the bottom depths of yourself, and to make you rise to perfection, or to rise to the next level. And that's what you want. You want friends that are going to challenge you, and you should want to challenge your friends. That's the only way you're going to get better.
It's not even just you should want to; you should be allowed to.
And
if
see, that's
challenge your friends, and if they bow out, then that they're not really your friends, because they don't really care about your opinion.
And I want to say something. This is when it comes to men relationships, men to men friendships, this is something so beautiful. It's called a brotherhood, right? It's a brotherhood. Like, I got friends from the military that are like, dude, it's been almost 20 years ago since I've talked to them before in the last time, but I could call them up right now and they'll be like, yo, I'm there, whatever you need me. It's a brotherhood. And that's something women do not understand. Women are so finicky with their friends. But there's friends out there. And you want friends that, like, yo, you could call on and that will challenge you and be there for you. And the brotherhood that men build, if it's done right, with accountability, integrity, right? And challenging them and leveling them up and calling them out when it's time to call them out, that bond can never be broken. That bond is something so freaking hard to break that nothing could break that bond. And see, that's something that men have that women do not understand, is that relationship. That's how many guys do you know, Huds, that you don't talk to on the regular basis, but if you called them up, you guys will be right back where you left off.
Bro, I got a great story for you. So just recently, it was like about a month and a half ago, I had one of the guys who's been following some of the stuff I've been doing and whatnot. Granted, I haven't seen him in 7 years. He hits me up and he's like, hey man, he's one of the guys that lives in AC, and that's the whole reason why we started going out there. And he reached out to me and he's like, dude, like, yada yada yada, great seeing what you're doing, and you're not too far. Do you want to come by? And I drove to his place. I stayed there for a weekend. It was the first time I was seeing each other in seven years, and it was like nothing changed. And it was funny because I brought a bunch of my guys out there, just to, guys trip just for fun. And I was talking with one of the guys, and he was like, dude, how long have you guys known each other? And I was like, oh, I haven't spoken to him in 7 years. And he was like, the fuck are you talking about? It seems like you guys are absolute best friends and you talk literally all the time. And I'm like, dude, that's just what it is. When you develop those bonds with men, it's you pick up exactly where you left off, no matter what.
And that's because those bonds are, you guys been through stuff. You guys experience heartache. You guys experience good times, bad times together. And there's this understanding and accountability and trust that you have with each other. You vetted them during that process,
Back when I was good at vetting.
Yeah, but you suck at it now. But it's important to have that. You have to test your friends. And it's okay. We tell you all the time, test the woman in your life. And you know what? A lot of times the woman in your life is closer in proximity to hurt you than your friends are. So if we're going to tell you to test and vet the women in your life, you damn well better be testing and vetting the men in your life that you call friends. Because the men, your friends, tend to be on the exterior, right, of your real, vulnerable side. And that woman comes in and she gets right where all the vulnerability is. She may see you crying during the Notebook, or she may be seeing you cry during.
Hey! Stop talking about me.
My bad. She may see you cry during the movie My Girl, right? And that's me. I've cried in that movie. I don't care. He wanted to be an astronaut, damn it. But a woman gets to see you more vulnerable at times than your men do. Your men friends do. And we tell you to vet her properly. Why? Because we don't want you to be in a situation where you're vulnerable and you get exposed, right? Or your weaknesses are exposed, or you get hurt. It's the same process for your friends.
Think about mindset. Think about this too. Female relationships tend to last a lot shorter than men's do. Male to male relationships tend to end or last a lot longer. A lot of times the people that you're friends with in high school, or people that you're friends, or guys that you're friends with in college, they can tend to be lifetime. But women always have a cycle of it. So why are you trusting a woman with some of your deepest, darkest inside emotions more than you're trusting the guys that you can expect to be there for your entire life.
You know, my buddy James, like he's been in, like we added him to the chat, right?
Mhm.
I've known him for over 15 years, right? And he's a good guy. I remember when he was going through some personal stuff, and I hadn't talked to him for like 2 years. He calls me up and he goes, "Yo, man, can we talk?" Now, mind you, I used to be his barber back in the day before I got into acting, and we would talk about everything back then. And he hits me up, telling me what's going on, and I was like, "Yo, man, you kind of fucked up there." He's like, "Yeah, I know," but he knew who to call. He knew who he had a bond with. He knew who he had the relationship with that would not sugarcoat it, that would call him out, but also be there for him in his time of need. And you know what? This is the same guy when I was going through my shit. He fucking dropped everything, drove 3 hours to see me and come talk to me, just to be there with me when I was going through my hard times. And I don't talk to him every day. We talk maybe on the phone, maybe once or twice a month, if that, or every 2-3 months. But we we'll send each other memes and shit. But that's about it. That's the extent of our relationship. But it was built in strong foundation that I know if I was like, "Yo, James, I need you to fly out right now from Atlanta to Cali to help me out," he'll be like, "Let me get on the next plane. Hold on. Let me move some things around so I could get there." That's the type of brotherhood and friendship women don't understand. Not a lot of women have those relationships. They may go out and have dinner and tea with their girlfriends and catch up every
Brunch.
week. They may have brunch with them, but they don't have that investment in a relationship with their friends because women are they're just differently.
Yeah.
So friendships and relationships are extremely important. We're humans. We all crave it. We all desire to have good relationships. But you have to vet your friends. You have to vet your bros. You have to vet the people in your circle because they are an extension of you.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great point. Because if you're gonna say you're friends with somebody, you're essentially co-signing them. And that does not work if you're co-signing them and they can't step up to the plate. Just makes you look stupid.
You have to ask yourself, if your friends are your friends, would you be in a foxhole with any of your friends? And if you can't say that, yeah, all your top 5 friends, that you'd be down to be in a foxhole with them, then you have to ask yourself, are they really your friend? Or are they acquaintance? Are they just somebody?
That's what I find interesting. Like within my group first class, I'm always like the mother hen is how I look at it. Yeah, I'm like corralling cats whenever we go on trips. I'm always trying to make sure that things are flowing smoothly. So obviously I'm somebody that they would want to be around because I can keep things moving forward. But you don't want to be with people that in time of chaos, they just dip out.
I like this comment from Coco. I don't think it's that they don't understand. Unfortunately, women, even with other women, they have conditions, even though they won't admit it. Maybe that's the idealistic, like when it comes to men's friends and men view their friendships, maybe it's that idealism. It's not opportunistic. We are friends because we are friends. We have, long, like I have a friend that I've known his name's Ty. I've known him for almost 25 years or something like that.
No, men are friends with one another because it's opportunistic, either because it makes them feel good to have the friend or because they can gain something out of it.
I don't know. Because like I said,
I think they view relationships as idealistic. I think it's actually converse. This is a really interesting point, and I would love to dive into it.
I think this is something we could bring up with the panel. I think it's interesting because like there's friends you outgrow, right? You can outgrow some friends. You guys are no longer on the same path. You guys don't see eye to eye together, but you're still your boy. You're still your friend. Like I have a friend that it's like that I've known for almost 25 years now. And Me and him, I don't gain anything from him. There's nothing to gain, right? But we have been through a whole lot of shit together. We've been through a whole lot of crap. And because of that, he knows me very well, and I know him very well. And, like I know who's his true nature, and he knows my true nature. And we've been friends. But although we don't see eye to eye, we're not on the same level anymore. I surpassed him, and things, but that's still my boy. I still meet up with him once a year just because that's how we are. That's, I was there when his kids were born. We were in high school together, so I could tell you like, I don't necessarily like hang out with him regularly. I don't talk to him regularly, but he's still one of my longest friends I've ever had. Now, I may not want him in the foxhole with me, but I don't gain anything from that relationship. So that's why I say it's idealistic in nature. It's like, he's my boy. I gain nothing from him. He gains nothing from me. But women are they view their friendship differently.
No. If you guys gained nothing from each other, why would you hang out?
I'm saying now.
Correct.
There's nothing to
Correct.
gain. So
But you still hang out once a year, right?
Yeah.
So why?
Because we were like brothers growing up. Like we hung out all the time. We slept at each other's houses. We've been through so much. Yeah.
And that's the thing. You know what? That's the thing. Let's say that. That's the thing. That's why it's different in male to female relationships, because we as men, we hold memories very important. Whereas
that's where it's like,
don't.
a lot of men have this like belief of relationship equity. Like, so that guys do. And that's probably why you could be friends with people for a long time and you don't have to hang out with them every day. But like, because you've established this relationship and it has all this equity built up through the years, it's of value to you as a man. That's why I'm saying it's different. I don't know.
No, it is. It's just interesting, like looking at it that way, because when you have like a breakup or something and you've been together for a while, like women, and this is my dating coach coming out. This is why the women don't view it the same way and they don't have the value. And that's why, like, even with the men that have been in marriages or whatnot, and they're like, what happened? Like, what was wrong? There's never an answer. And it's like, I've just been feeling it for a while. Well, why the fuck didn't you just tell me? Because we expect communication in the way that men communicate, which is very direct and at times can be aggressive.
Well, aggressive is good, depending on the situation. But let's wrap this up. We're almost at 53 minutes. We want to keep this under an hour or at an hour. Challenge yourself, you guys. Ask yourself first, before you can vet your friends, you have to vet yourself. You have to ask yourself, are you a good friend? Do you challenge your friends? Do you speak truthfully to your friends? Do you call your friends out when they need to be called out? And what's the motive of calling them out?
And when you call them out, do you bow to them being reactive towards you? Or do you stand true to what you're saying?
And then after you answer those questions, ask yourself, do you do that for your friends? Or do your friends do that for you? And if you don't have a friend that corrects you, if you don't have a friend that tells you, no, you're wrong, or, challenges you on things, then you got to ask yourself, do they really care about you? Are they really worth calling your friend? This is your episode of Big Brothers, your Big Brothers, bringing to you Vet Your Bros. Any final thoughts, Huds?
No, I think you hit freaking everything. And I'm just excited for what we're doing moving forward. So what we're going to be doing is essentially every Tuesday. Well, we'll figure out the day exactly. But we're going to be doing once a week is going to be focused on something like this, men's self-improvement. And then one day a week is going to be bringing women on the panel And I think that's going to be very interesting because not only are you going to get the tough love from your big brothers or your big brother that you never had, but you're also going to get the female perspective because we don't want to live in an echo chamber. And this is the best way for us to do it. And look out for that, especially with Halloween here. Next Thursday, I believe it is. Yeah, next Thursday, we're going to be doing our first one. Coco's going to be on there. I have my sister coming on. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So look out for that.
Yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned for our Thursday show because it's going to be spicy. There's going to be some things that, we're going to be pushing the envelope with these conversations. We're going to be talking about things that maybe consider locker room talk or not. Who knows? But we want to get down into the dirty. We want to understand what women think and what the response is to. And it's going to be a good challenge. And, it's something you guys could take home and either think about your own relationships or apply into your own dating life. So stay tuned for our Thirsty Thursday episodes. Our premiere this coming Thursday, the 26th. It's going to be a fun time. Get out your popcorn. One thing we're definitely not going to do, we're not going to be fresh and fit. We're not going to be Frank Castling anybody. Although I am the real Punisher. Just so you guys know, I have the Punisher tattoo right there on the chest. There we go. Real Punisher. But yeah, we're not going to be doing the fresh and fit style. That's not our thing. That's their thing. We are going to be doing the Big Brother thing, and we're going to have a good time with it. So without anything else, my camera's all jacked up right now.
That's good. Without anything else, fucking love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Stay tuned.
Peace.